Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, your source for exceptional video analysis of stocks, ETFs, and indices so you can become a better trader. Welcome back. Today is Monday, August 17th. We're going to take a look at the market action today. So, we got one day to look at, and we're going to look at four stocks actually: Yelp, Southwest Airlines, Lennar, and American Airlines. All right, we're going to start off here with the Dow. The Dow was up almost 68 points, and I apologize for my data. I've got some things happening in here where the moving average breaks. These were holidays here, and I couldn't get it to correct for whatever reason, so I will be checking with the Meta stock folks tomorrow to find out what is going on. But anyway, we came down this morning. We kind of opened up here a little bit down, and then we sold off big, and I can't remember exactly what happened. I can't remember if the bomb that went off in wherever it was, Thailand or someplace, Bangkok I think it was, or whether there was a combination of that news, and I can't remember exactly when that happened. And then I know the Empire State Manufacturing Report came out, and that was very disappointing. It was, basically showing a decline. And so the market was selling off pretty strong here early on, and then it just reversed and came back up and closed right near the highs. So now it's going to be real interesting to see. I mean, we still have these declining highs in here. We still have the moving averages aligned to the downside, and we've gotten a pretty good little bounce back. This is probably 3/4 of the bounce from here down to here, coming back up like this. So we'll see what kind of, again, it all comes back down to what kind of follow through do we get. We look at the S&P 500, a similar type thing, but this one did not, again, we talked about this on Saturday. This has not declined nearly as much as the Dow has, but it also hasn't taken out, this high here where I think you're going to get some resistance, 2105 coming in. And if that breaks, you're going to get right up in here where it turned back down around 2112, 2113, and here is 2114. So we get above 2105, we're going to get 2113, 2115 is going to be another resistance area that's going to come in pretty quickly. The NASDAQ was up 43 points today. Kind of continuing this little move. Almost looks like a little bit of a zigzag two-legged move that's going on here. From the low down here, big reversal up, you pull back, and then the second leg up. We'll see whether that's all she wrote on this or not. New York Composite, similar type thing. The picture is very much the same. Up 36 points on New York Composite. And the Russell 2000, again, we've talked about how this is so much like the Dow and mirroring the Dow, which is kind of unusual because this seemed to have always been in sync for the longest time with the NASDAQ. Pretty strong move today on the Russell 2000, up 12.4, a little over 1%. And we're back up above this point here. Now this, I don't call this a pivot point. I like to see, when I talk about a pivot point, I like to see at least two lower highs on the right side and the left side of that pivot point for me to turn around and say that's a pivot point in my mind. And that's why I'm not seeing that here. You see two lower highs here on the right side. You don't see it on the left-hand side. So just kind of a little nit thing that I look for. And I'm not seeing it, so we'll see again what kind of carry through we get. The next, we'll take a look at the indicator short-term trading index. It's coming down a little bit, 1.04, another low reading in here, 0.77 on the trend. Not surprising given that it was up. Now, this is what's interesting on the VIX. We'll look at these last 4 days, okay? So here on the 12th, which was last Wednesday, huge gap up. Okay, so it closed right here and a huge gap up. It opened here, is going all gung-ho, and it's moving up, and then it just reverses right on back down. and then it gapped a little bit here on the opening here, gapped a little bit here on the opening. Huge gap today. But then the gaps aren't holding. The initial moves aren't holding. So not sure what that really means, other than, maybe the bulls are gaining a little bit of foothold in here for a short term. Really hard to tell off of this, other than the way this has been acting. We'll take a look at the high-low. Now this continues to be a negative picture to me. You can have the market going up 67 or whatever points it did today, and you still have 61 more 52-week more new lows than new highs. Exceeded the new highs by 61. Still the negative picture, still lower peaks here on the net 52-week new high, new low indicator. And then I wanted to go back, take a look at the McClellan oscillator, and let me see if this is adjusted in the late hours. A little late this evening. No, it's staying the same. So we got a little bit of a break. I showed this picture on Saturday. Almost looked like a little bit of congestion wedge type thing in here, triangle in here, and now we look like we're breaking out. So the real question is this the start of something that takes us all the way up to an overbought scenario, or what? Is this a new move? You just never know. But right now, you'd have to say, well, that's the way it looks. Like something may be starting out of this congestion that's gone on the last couple of weeks. And I think that's it on the indicators. Let's take a look at the high yield bond fund. And HYG has just gone sideways last 3 days. So not a whole lot, and not anything to speak of. That totally unchanged today. And the next one is TLT. And let's see, TLD was up today, up 0.56. So the intermediate and short-term trend is continuing to push a little bit higher, although it hasn't taken out this point from last Wednesday, the peak of last Wednesday. It hasn't taken that out yet. So, bonds go up, it means long-term interest rates are still creeping down. And I still am suspicious that this is a counter-trend move. And we'll just have to see. The next one we'll take a look at is the dollar index. And the dollar index rose a little bit today. Nothing huge, but it's up over the last 3 days, and was up 0.28 today in that move. The next one is oil, and oil continues to push to new lows, as reflected in United States oil. And I'm not sure what the last reading, I think it was down around 41, below $42 a barrel on the futures. But this just continues to push down. And that is the amazing thing about commodities and commodity related. They can really trend and really get in a trend zone. And they will do that much stronger usually, and show these kind of trends than your average stock will. The next one is gold. Let's take a look at GLD to give us an indication. And gold was up slightly today in this little move in here. It actually opened up. That's why this is a dark bar. It opened up and closed below its opening, but because the close was higher than Friday's close, it's a blue bar instead of red. Okay, so it was slightly up today. And I think gold, of course, gold went up slightly too, and I don't remember the exact final reading on gold. Let's take a look at Yelp. Now I'm looking at the top 4 of the 60 or so stocks I'm watching, the top 4 percentage movers up today. Now Yelp is, big percentage move up, but point-wise, not very much. It was up 0.87 to close at 26.64. So we're getting a close above the 10-day exponential moving average. I think that here's a resistance point that it's going to run into here at 27.70. That was a previous little counter trend peak in here. If it gets past that, you got a pretty good little gap in here that it might run to the bottom, but that's what it may try to do. But it is fighting some pretty strong downtrends still. Next one is Southwest Airlines, LOVE. LUV. And this is also very, very strong counter trend. Now, we talked about the death cross in the post on Saturday. And so basically, death cross, long-term trend, whatever you want to call it, that's what this is showing here on Southwest. And you can see how you get the move down, which pulls things down, and then you get the counter trend move back. Right now, this is looking pretty strong. It's acting pretty strong. The volume was good today, up around the 50-day moving average, the dotted line. It really is very strong in terms of overbought on the RSI. The RSI is up here at 82.7. Very, very strong. Doesn't necessarily mean it's at an extreme is going to drop, but when I look at it and I see, where is it at? It looks like it just came very close to closing this little gap in here, and the low of that day here 40.85, and the high today 40.70. So it didn't quite close it. Came very, very close. But it's going to run into some overhead resistance in here, overhead supply from this congestion, even if it gets through and closes that gap. So we'll have to watch Southwest Airlines to see if it consolidates some more and continues to push, or whether it runs into this and starts to reverse back down. I mean, we look at resistance from this. Okay, so you had initial move, counter trend. And so if you look at this move down here, it's retraced exactly 61.8% of this down move. So it's definitely at that point where it could be running into some resistance. All right, the next one is Lennar. And Lennar, here we go. Home builder. So this has acted very strong over the last week or two. Thought this was going to roll over back in. Well, actually, it started here. A little counter trend, started to resume, faked out. And now this has had a pretty good little move back up, but it went almost exactly to this high. 52.96, 52.97, 1 penny above it. And we'll see whether or not it's got enough to do it and push beyond it or not. The ADX as an indication of trend is 20, so it's starting to trend a little bit. Some folks use 15, some use 20 in terms of what it's doing. RSI has not confirmed this move. It's starting to, though. It's getting back up there, but it looks like a little bit of potential divergence showing up. Not so much here on the DI plus, and on the demand index, it's pushed above that point in here on the demand index. Right now, it's looking strong. We got the moving average cross right in here. This may be wanting to push a little bit higher, so we'll have to see. The next one is American Airlines. So one more airline we'll look at tonight and see what's going on. Now this one, the ADX is 11. So there is no trending going on right now. And you can see it's not. It's been chopping sideways. Okay. And again, another long-term trend has gone negative here. So 3 out of these 4 stocks tonight are where the long-term. Yelp is severely down, as we all know, but the Love and American Airlines has the long-term trend down, at least for right now. And I've still got this trend line that I've been showing for quite a while now. We'll see whether or not this pushes back above this and wants to do something differently or not. We'll continue to watch that. I'm not so sure that, we got to be a little careful about this pullback. Let's see about the support. Not really getting any more of a reading. You might get it, it might push up to the top of the Keltner channels where I'm 45. 45 and a quarter or so up into here, and that's the 233-day moving average too, so we'll see. All right, that's it for tonight. We'll be back on Wednesday with another market wrap. We'll see what the next 2 days hold, and then we'll take a look at some of the global indices and check in on China at that time. All right, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Have a great Tuesday, Wednesday.